Hey, what is guys in the video? And today I'm going to be talking about Derrick Rose that just signed with the Minnesota Timberwolves. And if you don't know, yesterday he did just sign with the Timberwolves. Well, I guess yesterday when you are watching it, I'm making it on the day he did. But yeah, so yesterday he signed with the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I mean, I'm going to be getting into how this helps them and what I think they can now do with Derrick Rose on the team. So yeah, so without further ado, without me running on too much, let's get right into this video. My first reason is going to be that this actually gives them much needed depth at the backup point guard position, because right now the T-Wolves backup point guard is Tyus Jones, and the dude has been playing very below average, not really doing anything. He is only averaging 4.9 points per game, 2.7 assists per game, and 1.7 rebounds per game, and that's not good at all. And even with Derrick Rose having his worst season of his career, he is still playing better, as he's averaging 9.8 points per game, 1.8 rebounds per game, and 1.6 assists per game. So I mean, this would definitely add the much needed point guard depth that they would need. And I mean, just that be able to have another court general when the backup squad is on the court, or just having someone that can come in for Jeff Teague and be able to pick up some of the slack that Jeff Teague leaves when he's off the court. And I mean, the dude can go off for like every once in a while, so you never know, maybe he can go off on the bench and get you some much needed bench scoring. And yeah, I mean, it's not like their bench is awful or anything, but with the loss of Shabazz Muhammad, that might hurt the team a little bit in order, like, bench-wise. But I mean, still, I do think this team has improved in point guard-wise, definitely. I mean, Tyus Jones is just not a good backup point guard. They're probably not going to re-sign him. I mean, he's really been playing bad. So I think this Derrick Rose pickup, as far as backup and depth at point guard, is a huge pickup for them. And also, my second reason is going to be that he would be able to improve. Already, the Minnesota offense is already a top six offense in the NBA. But I mean, that would mean that with Derrick Rose, they would even be able to improve to maybe the top 4 or even the top 3 offense in the game. I mean, this is his first year ever averaging under 15 points per game. And the only reason I think he is averaging under 15 points per game is because, look, he played not even half a season. He was on a dysfunctional Cavs team that was just playing like awful. And I mean, then he was hurt a couple of, so I mean, he just didn't have much of a chance to average over that. Plus, he played a career low 11 minutes per game. So he really never had a chance to score over that 15 points per game average that he usually does. So really, he never had a chance. But I mean, when he comes back and actually maybe gets legit minutes on the T-Wolves, maybe he'll actually be able to start scoring and improve that offense even more than they already are, and make them a offensive powerhouse, which would be huge for them. And I mean, if they can get an even better offense, they could probably make it to the second or third round into the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. And my third and final reason is going to be that they already have their chemistry set in place. Pretty much. Alright, just look at this. So not only does he have chemistry with Coach Thibodeau, because he coached in Chicago when Jimmy Butler and Rose was there, but Butler is on the Minnesota Timberwolves, so I mean, he already has great chemistry with the best player on that team, debatably at least. I think he's the best player on that team, by far the best defensive player on the team. So Derrick Rose already has huge chemistry with the head coach and the best player on the team. Usually 2 players that you need to get chemistry with pretty fast once you're traded or signed with the team, and he already has both of those, so that is very, very beneficial for that team. And yeah, so now I'm going to get into how far do I think they can make it into the playoffs. Well, since Derrick Rose doesn't play much defense, and they are currently ranked in the bottom half of the NBA in defense, I mean, when Jimmy Butler comes back, and maybe they'll turn it up in the playoffs a little bit, I think the farthest they'll get is probably the 3rd round. I think, realistically, though, they'll probably make it to the 2nd round. I don't think they'll get bounced in the 1st round, but I do think they'll get to the 2nd or 3rd round, and maybe, depending on what they do free agency next year, if they can keep the core at least, and then sign a few more people in free agency, I do think maybe that they could be able to become a finals contender. I do think this team should be a finals contender already, but I mean, after they get this year to mesh, and then next year they are completely meshed going into this season, I really do think that this team would be finals contenders. So comment all that below. Do you think this team is a final contender? How far do you think they can make it? Do you think this Derrick Rose signing was a good thing? Comment all that below. And if you did like the video at any point, hit the like button. It would mean the road to me. If you really like the video, hit the subscribe button. That would definitely mean the road to me as well. So yeah, and kids, don't think about you either. Never do vegetables. Aussie drugs. Stay safe. Free seatbelt. Goodbye.